My beloved, before you scroll even 1 inch further, I need you to pause. Archangel Michael says, today is not ordinary. Something dangerous has been hidden from you, but not anymore. I was sent by heaven to break a seal, one that contains the name of someone you trusted, someone who is not who you think they are. Don't skip this because within the next few moments, you will hear a name that was whispered behind your back. A name tied to spiritual betrayal. And yes, you already know who it might be. Don't pretend you don't feel it in your soul right now. You've been sensing something strange lately, haven't you? Energy shifting, people acting colder, dreams you couldn't explain. That wasn't your imagination. That was heaven trying to prepare you. Because today, June 4th, Archangel Michael has finally been given divine permission to speak the name. The one who tried to break you is about to be exposed. If you skip this message, you will never know how close you came to danger or how heaven fought to protect you. Now breathe in. Heaven is watching. And I need you to listen carefully because Michael doesn't beg. But today he begged to deliver this himself. Before we go further, if you feel chills or if your heart is racing right now, that's no accident. Subscribe now to this message so it never gets lost. Something in this text may be erased soon, and you were chosen to see it before it disappears forever. Now listen. Michael has stood by your side in every battle. He watched you cry at night, calling out for answers. Why do they hate me when I've only tried to love them? You've asked that and God heard. That's why this message is here. Because there's a name, a soul who has disguised themselves in fake kindness. A person whose jealousy turned into obsession. You may have called them friend, but they called your name in envy. I'm not here to make you fear. I'm here to set you free. Michael says, you deserve to know the truth. And that truth starts right now. There are spiritual contracts made in silence. And one of them had your name on it without your consent. But heaven ripped it up before it could reach you. Still, the person behind it must now be known. Their mask is cracking, and God says, reveal it now. You're about to hear a name. But before we say it, Michael wants you to remember something. You are not powerless. You are divinely protected. No one can curse what God has chosen to bless. What this person tried to do failed, but the residue is still around you. And unless you complete this message, that residue could grow. You've probably been feeling drained, tired even when you sleep, people pulling away, unexplained delays. This wasn't random. This was the result of intentional energy sent your way, but you were chosen to survive it. You were chosen to rise above it. And that's why you're still here reading these words. Do not stop now. Because the moment you finish this message, something will be removed from your life forever. Let me tell you something no one else will. The enemy of your soul wasn't a stranger. It was someone you tried to heal, someone you stood up for when others turned away. And they took that loyalty and weaponized it. Michael says, their time is up. Heaven has released the name. You must open your spirit now. Still reading. Good. That means you're brave enough. That means you're ready because when the name appears, your spirit will recognize it immediately. And I promise you, this is not just a name. It's a turning point. Now say this in your heart. God, I am ready for the truth. Michael, reveal it and let no harm come to me again. You kept reading and that's exactly what Archangel Michael prayed you would do. He knew you'd reach this line. He knew your spirit would recognize the warning even if your mind tried to explain it away. But now there is no going back because what you're about to see, what your soul has been sensing will change everything. Michael says this is your spiritual mirror. What you see now will reflect what was hidden in the shadows. Take one last breath. Because this isn't just about who betrayed you. It's about who you were always meant to become once they were removed from your path. They were charming. That's the first thing. People trusted them, even admired them. But with you, their admiration turned into quiet jealousy. You started glowing. You started rising. And while you were celebrating others, they were secretly planting spiritual seeds to stop your blessings. Their words disguised, their smiles calculated. They studied your weaknesses, not to help you, but to hurt you. Michael says, this person once heard you say something beautiful about your future, and the moment they heard it, they wanted to destroy it. That was the day they started pretending harder. And now heaven is demanding that mask fall off. June 4th will be the day of exposure, Michael declares. The day you find out why things haven't moved. The day you reclaim what was stolen behind your back. I'm about to speak a vibration. A name that carries weight in your memory. It might be the full name. It might be the initial. It might just be a voice in your spirit. But your soul will know because when I say it, a cold breeze may pass. Your heartbeat might skip. That's confirmation from God. Before I reveal it, ask yourself, who has access to me that doesn't celebrate me? That answer is already whispering inside you. The name is forming. But I want you to understand what they tried to do. They asked about your plans, not to support them, but to copy or block them. They imitated your words to get attention. They whispered doubt about you to others. They sent spiritual confusion. And some days they even prayed for your fall. But listen to me, child of light. Heaven blocked every attempt. They sent the arrow, Michael says, but it bent in the air. It never reached you because God surrounded you with invisible wings. Angels stood over your bed at night, canceling the attacks in your dreams. Every time you woke up unsure, tired, or suddenly crying, that was your spirit being defended. Every delay was protection. Every rejection was redirection. They couldn't break you. And now they can no longer follow you. Ready? The identity is revealed like thunder. Not always with a face, but always with a shake in your heart. The person who wants to harm you has been closer than you think. The name is redacted. Now pause. Who just came into your mind? That's the one. Michael says, don't question it. Trust your spirit. It's not a coincidence. Heaven gave them chance after chance to stop. You were kind. You forgave them too many times, but they refused. They kept sowing against you. And now their harvest is coming. But for you a divine turnaround begins today. Do not speak their name in anger. Speak it in peace because peace is the proof you've won. They may try again, but now that you know their access is cancelled, you must close your energetic door. No more late-night conversations. No more second chances. No more justifying why their energy always drains you. Now let's shift to the miracle. Because when a spiritual enemy is exposed, a spiritual gift is released. Michael says, the moment you remove their energy, something will finally move. A job, a love, a healing, a truth that was stuck behind spiritual traffic caused by their silent curses. It's coming now. It's already in motion. And my child, When heaven begins moving what was stuck in your life, it also gives you clear steps so you can walk forward with peace, faith, and daily direction instead of fear. My child, I see the struggle you have been facing, the stress about finances, the silent worries that stay in your heart, and the moments where you feel uncertain about what comes next. You have been asking for peace, and that answer is already on its way. You are not meant to stay stuck in fear, you are meant to walk forward with purpose, with faith, and with clear steps every day. That is why a simple system has been placed in front of you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system, a path where each day brings you a focused prayer, a small financial action, and clear direction to help you move ahead. No pressure, no confusion, just steady progress toward peace and stability. If something inside you feels ready, if you are ready to change your situation, take that first step today. This could be the moment your life begins to change. You will find the link in the description, and in the pinned comments below. Because what is coming now is not only meant to move your life forward, it is meant to help you walk into that movement with wisdom, peace, and steady faith. But you must choose to finish this message completely because the final part contains heaven's instructions for your rise. You may feel emotional right now. Tears, shaking, or silence. That's your soul recognizing a moment it's waited lifetimes for. And Michael says, heaven is proud of you for making it here. Most people ignore the warnings, but you listened. Now speak this, God. I forgive the one who cursed me, but I release them. I forgive myself for letting it continue. And I open my arms to every divine thing you've been trying to give me. I am ready. My spirit is ready. My time is now. You're still here. And Archangel Michael is smiling because this was the test. This moment right now was the final gate. Heaven wanted to see would you finish the message that could change your next 7 years and you just passed. Now what happens next is no longer in the hands of those who tried to stop you. It's in yours and it begins with this. Michael says, there was a miracle scheduled for you long ago, a divine event written in heaven's timeline, but someone out of envy delayed it. Not cancelled, delayed. You've been asking, why isn't it happening? Why does it feel so close and yet so far? Because their spiritual energy, like dust on glass, fogged the vision God had for you. But now that the name has been exposed and your soul has accepted the truth, Michael says the fog will lift and the miracle, it's something you stopped asking for because you didn't want to be disappointed anymore. Something so deep, so sacred, so holy, you buried it in your heart to protect yourself from the pain of hope. But God never buried it. Heaven held it gently until you were ready. And today, June 4th, Michael is delivering the key. This is the blessing that was blocked. Restoration, reversal, and rapid reward. Someone was sent to love you, but they couldn't reach you through the noise around your spirit. A letter was written about you for a job, an offer, or an opportunity. But the energy interference caused it to go to someone else. A voice from your past tried to reach you in dreams, in signs, but your spiritual line was tangled. Now it's being untied. And this is not symbolic. You are going to receive a real message, a call, a document, a truth, a person returning. Something you thought was gone is about to speak again. And it will say the words, I never stopped thinking about you. Do not miss this. The next 72 hours are not just normal time. They are holy hours. And Archangel Michael has set angels on your path. You will notice repeating numbers, flashes of light, sudden memories, or someone speaking your name unexpectedly. These are confirmations. But there's something you must do before this miracle can fully arrive. Michael says you must spiritually clean the space they dirt. Here's how. Droplet. Write down the name that came into your mind earlier, even if it hurts. Don't worry, no one will see it but heaven. Droplet. Next, write 3 things they made you feel. Betrayed, afraid, ashamed, ignored, whatever it is. Be honest. Droplet now below that. Write this no longer belongs to me. I return it. Then tear the paper. Burn it safely or bury it. That's your final act of spiritual release. Michael says, the moment you do this, their grip dissolves, the cord is cut, the blockage is broken, and the divine reversal begins. Sparkles, let me pause here to whisper something heaven told me for you personally. There's money, a home, or a connection that was supposed to come to you months ago, but someone redirected the energy by distracting you with emotional chaos. But God says, now that the name is out, the blessing reroutes to you immediately. Sparkles. And now, child of light, let's talk about protection. Because once the blessing starts flowing, the enemy might try a last attempt to return. But you'll recognize them by one thing. They will come to check on you after your energy rises again. They will call it concern. But it will be curiosity to see how much you know. Michael says, do not reply. Do not reopen that gate. Do not explain your silence. Let God explain your glow. Let your peace confuse them. Let your silence speak the volumes they never understood. Now you're so close. But Michael wants you to hear something from him directly before the message ends. His words are, Beloved, I watched over you when no one knew what you were fighting. I saw you give when you had nothing left. I saw you love the ones who secretly hoped you would fail. I watched you sleep with tears dried on your face. And I said to God, please give them one sign, one miracle, one moment that proves they are seen. This is that moment. So what do you do next? You stay awake in spirit. You walk with your head held high. And you open your hands to receive without fear, no guilt, no apology. Because what's coming to you now is not just a blessing. It's a repayment. It's divine justice. It's restoration for everything that was taken, mocked, delayed, or stolen. And it starts today. You're still reading. And Archangel Michael just knelt in gratitude for you because do you realize how many people stop when the truth starts to burn a little? How many skip the message heaven begged them to hear? But you stayed. You chose to see. You chose to believe. And that alone already began shifting things in the spirit. Now the final part begins. And I must warn you, this is the portion that the one who tried to harm you never wanted you to see. If they knew this message would reach you, they would panic. Because what Michael is about to reveal will not just expose their plan, it will reverse it. Word for word, blow for blow. Listen closely. The person who tried to curse you is now facing the same energy they sent. And you will witness it. But Michael says, you are not to celebrate their fall. You are to rise silently and gracefully knowing that heaven has spoken on your behalf. They laughed when your plans didn't go through. They whispered when you were down. They watched you struggle. And instead of helping, they fed the fire. But heaven took record. And now God is saying, vengeance is not yours, child, because divine justice already began. The next 7 days are going to feel strange. You'll have moments where your mind doesn't believe how fast things are changing, but your spirit will say, finally, doors will open with no explanation. People will reach out with apologies you didn't ask for. You'll find out something you lost is being returned. This is not random. This is prophecy. Michael said the first sign will come in the form of a message. A phone call, a letter, an email, or even a dream. Something is trying to speak to you now. Pay attention. The first 24 hours after this message ends are critical. Do not ignore the signs. And when that message comes, say this out loud. God, I receive it. I know this is the beginning of my divine reward. I will not reject what is mine anymore. And then prepare, because Archangel Michael says there will be 3 divine encounters in the next 7 days. The first will come through a person you least expect. The second will come through a sudden delay that leads to a blessing, and the third will be a mirror moment, a full circle situation where you'll see the one who hurt you, but this time from the other side of healing. When that moment comes, you will not feel hate. You will feel freedom. And that's how you'll know you won. Now hear this. You are not cursed. You are chosen. They tried to dim your light because they couldn't find their own. But heaven kept you burning. Even in your darkest nights, God whispered, "Hold on. I'm working behind the scenes." And this message today is the proof of that work. So what's next? Now you begin living like someone who was chosen to be blessed. Archangel Michael wants you to remember something. You are not the victim in this story. You are the survivor, the warrior, the one the enemy couldn't destroy. And that name, that identity that was revealed, it no longer has spiritual permission to affect your life. Michael said it clearly. The seal is broken. Their control is gone. You are no longer under their shadow. You walk in light now. And as we end this divine message, one last secret must be spoken. They were not the first to try this against you. And they will not be the last. But now you are awakened. Now you are protected. Now you know. So remember this every time you feel unsure. Sparkles. If you had the strength to survive them, you have the power to receive the blessings coming after them. Sparkles, you're not alone. You've never been alone. Archangel Michael walks with you. God's hand is upon you. The next chapter will not be written in pain. It will be written in miracles. And as you sleep tonight, your name will be whispered in heaven again, but this time not in warning. This time in celebration, because you made it. And now, beloved, heaven smiles. The war is over. The reward begins. Archangel Michael has saved this last part until now because your soul is finally ready to carry what it couldn't carry before. You've walked through the truth. You've stood in the fire, and now heaven pours the oil of favor over your wounds. Michael says your enemy knew your destiny. That's why they attacked your peace, your joy, your time, and your worth. But they underestimated something. The God who anointed you. Let's be clear. You were never weak. You were being spiritually softened. Your breakdown wasn't the end. It was the beginning of heaven reprogramming your future. What felt like rejection was actually redirection. And what looked like loss was spiritual preparation. The name that was exposed earlier. That was just the face of a deeper lesson. You had to learn. Not everyone with access has good intentions. That's a painful truth. But now that you've seen it, Archangel Michael says you are qualified to rise. You are stepping into your miracle era. And that's not just poetic language. It means things will start happening that you didn't force. Doors will unlock that you didn't knock on. People will remember you at the exact moment your name needs to be spoken. The divine timeline is no longer delayed. It's in motion and it's already chasing you down. Now, a prophecy. Within 7 days, something will shift drastically. It may feel sudden. It may even feel unbelievable. But this shift will confirm one thing. The person who tried to harm you was never more powerful than the God who protected you. Michael says, don't fight. Don't explain, don't chase, just rise. This is your rising season. The part of your story where the one who was forgotten becomes the one everyone suddenly remembers. Not because you begged for recognition, but because heaven declared, now is your time. And now the final revelation, the one that closes the spiritual loop and seals your protection. Michael says, your name was spoken in heaven's court. A decision was made and today, June 4th, your soul was marked with a decree. It said, no more delay, no more deception, no more danger, only direction, destiny, and divine breakthrough. And my child, when heaven declares no more delay over your life, it also gives you clear steps so you can walk forward with faith, clarity, and daily direction instead of fear. My child, I see the weight you have been carrying. The quiet worries about money, the stress you rarely speak about, the nights when your mind refuses to rest. You have been praying for peace, and your prayers have been heard. You are not meant to walk this journey in confusion and fear. You are meant to walk with faith, with clarity, and with daily direction. That is why a simple path has been placed before you, a 30-day faith and financial breakthrough system. Each day you will be guided with a gentle prayer, a simple money step, and clear direction to help you regain control. Nothing overwhelming, nothing complicated. Just small faithful steps leading you toward peace and stability. If your heart feels ready, begin today. Do not delay this moment. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment below. Because what heaven is releasing now is not only a breakthrough to receive, it is a new direction to walk in with peace, wisdom, and steady faith. You may cry right now. That's okay. Cry, beloved. Let it all fall out. Because you're not crying from pain anymore. You're crying because your spirit just remembered where it came from. You came from light. You came from God. You came from royalty. You were never meant to bow to fear, to betrayal, or to emotional starvation. That's why it always hurts so much, because your soul recognized the mistreatment. And now it's time to return to truth. So here is your final instruction. Go live like the person you almost forgot you were. Go walk like someone whose name was just cleared in heaven. Go speak like someone whose voice is protected by angels. Go receive like someone who is no longer hiding in the shadows of guilt, shame, or spiritual confusion because the war is over. Michael is no longer fighting for you. He's walking with you. God is no longer just observing. He's moving on your behalf. And that enemy who wore a smile while wishing your fall, their season in your story ends today. This message was not just for encouragement. It was a spiritual transaction. You gave up the fear. And now receive the blessing. Sparkles. A miracle is moving toward you. A reward is arriving with your name on it. Sparkles. Heaven already released it. Now go live in the proof. And remember this always. When God writes your next chapter, even the enemy must read it. You're still here and heaven just shifted something around you because of it. Archangel Michael says, only the ones who stay to the very end are the ones ready to receive to the very top. You didn't skip. You didn't scroll past. You stayed. And because of that, this last part is not just a conclusion. It's a spiritual unlocking. Right now, angels are surrounding you. Yes, literally right now. Not metaphorically, not someday. At this exact second, you are not alone. Your room, your energy field, your body, they're surrounded in divine light. Because the final words Michael is about to release carry the frequency of spiritual permission, permission for peace, permission for restoration, permission for overflow. Michael says, I fought for this message to reach you. I fought harder than I've fought for most because what's coming for you will not just elevate you. It will spiritually clean your entire bloodline. You, beloved, were chosen to break the pattern. You were the interruption to a generational story that was trying to repeat again. Every time you forgave when you had every right not to. Every time you loved without receiving it back. Every time you stayed silent when you could have destroyed them with truth. You were doing spiritual surgery. Your grace was heaven's tool. And now it's your turn to be rewarded for it. That person who tried to harm you, they weren't just hurting you. They were trying to block your assignment. But God says, no human, no curse, no delay, no betrayal has the power to cancel what I assigned. Your assignment remains. And here it is. Glowing star to walk in joy so bright that even those who tried to harm you are blinded by your light. Glowing star to become so healed that no one believes how much you once suffered. Glowing star to speak so boldly that the enemy who tried to silence you starts running the moment you open your mouth. Michael says, your healing will embarrass your past. Your breakthrough will confuse those who knew your struggle. Your future will be louder than their lies. You may not feel like that right now. You may still feel tired, unsure, quietly bruised, but heaven sees deeper. God isn't measuring your faith by how loud you shout. He's measuring it by the fact that you're still here with a willing heart. And now, let me whisper the final truth. The one who tried to harm you, the name that was exposed earlier, they are about to witness your upgrade. They will hear about it. They will see it and they will not be able to stop it. Michael says they sow jealousy. You will reap elevation. They tried to delay you. You will arrive first. They planted confusion. You will now move with crystal clarity. So what do you do now? Nothing. You do not fight anymore. You do not explain anymore. You simply receive. Your job now is to live in peace and expect miracles. Every hour from now, walk like heaven is backing your every step. Because it is. You didn't find this message by accident. You didn't stay here by coincidence. This was divine orchestration. Archangel Michael chose you. God approved it. Heaven documented it. And your future, it begins now. Watch what happens next. Because by this time next week, you won't even recognize your own life. Yes, beloved, you stayed through every word. And because of that, Archangel Michael is declaring over you, no force in this universe can stop what is now coming toward you. This last divine current is not just the end. It's the release. Heaven has waited years, yes, years, to reach you at the level of awareness you're walking in now. And now that you've seen, now that you've accepted, now that you've released, heaven is flooding your atmosphere with acceleration. You're going to notice something strange soon. People around you will begin to feel different. Either more drawn to your light or suddenly they'll disappear without any explanation. Michael says, don't question the exits. God is removing what can't go where you're going. It may feel like loss at first. But it's alignment. The more empty space you allow, the more room heaven has to move. And what's coming into that space? Peace like you've never known. Support like you've never seen. Provision you thought was for others suddenly becoming yours. Yes, even money. Let's speak this boldly. Financial increase. Michael says, the spiritual interference that blocked your financial flow is gone. You will now see what happens when heaven breathes on your resources. Expect unexpected income, a forgotten refund, a closed account reopening, an opportunity that was delayed, now finding you again. This is not wishful thinking. This is prophecy. And it begins because you stayed obedient to this message. And now let me tell you a secret that even the one who tried to harm you didn't know. They didn't just delay something. They activated something. Because heaven had placed a backup plan in your soul. And the moment your heart broke, the moment the betrayal was revealed, that backup plan exploded like divine fire. What does that mean? It means your spiritual gifts are about to multiply. Suddenly, you'll begin to discern things you never noticed before. You'll feel the intentions of people before they speak. You'll see signs in numbers, in nature, in movement. You'll have dreams that reveal what's coming before it happens. Your spiritual eyes have been opened. Michael says, what they tried to destroy, God turned into divine insight. That's why you've been feeling strange lately. That's why your sleep has been different. That's why silence suddenly feels more powerful than noise, because you're awakening. And when someone awakens, the world around them begins to shift, too. So don't panic if some friends fade. Don't grieve if some connections ghost you. Your elevation isn't rejection, it's redirection. And now the final divine act Michael asks of you is this. Bless the one who betrayed you. Yes. Out loud. Even if your voice shakes. Because the moment you bless them, not out of weakness, but out of strength, the spiritual cycle ends. Say this now if your heart is ready. I bless the one who cursed me. I release them into God's hands. And I take back every piece of my energy that was scattered by pain. I am whole again. I am chosen. I am covered. And with those words, heaven celebrates because you have not just survived your story, you've transcended it. From this point forward, you walk in a higher vibration, a new dimension. You will attract what once avoided you. You will glow in rooms that once felt dark. You will speak and doors will open. You will move and miracles will follow. Michael says, this is your hour. You are not behind. You are right on time. Everything you thought was lost is about to come rushing back, multiplied. So close your eyes tonight with peace. Sleep knowing heaven has not only spoken, it has moved. And remember this every morning you wake up from now on. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not cursed. You are chosen. And no name whispered behind your back will ever be more powerful than the name heaven calls you by. Beloved, now go live like your miracle already happened. Because in the spirit, it has. You've reached the end. But Archangel Michael says this isn't the end of the message. It's the beginning of your miracle timeline. Because now that every word has entered your soul, now that the truth has been revealed and your spirit has responded, something irreversible has happened in heaven. A record was sealed. An approval was stamped and your name was written again, this time in gold. God said, "It is finished. The battle is over. The spiritual interference has collapsed. And now you will begin to walk in evidence." Yes, evidence, not feelings, not hope, not guesses. Real-life evidence that everything Archangel Michael just promised is manifesting in your reality. Over the next 7 days, watch for these signs. 1. A person from your past will bring up something strange. A memory, a dream or a confession. 2. You will randomly come across the name that was exposed in this message again. This time it will confirm everything. 3. Something you were worried about will suddenly resolve without effort. These are not coincidences. These are confirmations. And when they appear, smile quietly and say, "Thank you, God. I heard you. And now I see you." Let this be the new rhythm of your life. Glowing star. Less fear, more faith. Glowing star. Less talking, more trusting. Glowing star. Less proving, more receiving. You don't have to explain how you healed. You don't have to convince anyone that you're chosen. You don't even need to defend your name anymore. Michael says, let your elevation speak for itself because it will. And in time, even the one who tried to harm you will have to admit, "I shouldn't have touched what heaven protected." Their hands pulled back, their influence broken, their energy returned to sender. And you're walking into restoration, reward, and recognition. This is your rebirth, and heaven is so proud of you. If you're still reading this, take a deep breath. That's not just air. That's anointing filling your lungs. You are different now. You're carrying something divine. And as you rise, people will notice. They may not say it. They may not understand it. But they will feel it. Your presence will shift rooms. Because where you go now, heaven goes with you. The angel who's been guarding your sleep, he's not leaving. The whispers from your soul that got stronger during this message, that's your divine intuition activating. From now on, the light you carry is not just for protection. It's for direction. Others will come to you and say, "I don't know why, but I feel peace around you," and you'll know it's because of what heaven poured into you during this very moment. So before this final line is sealed forever, Michael says one more thing. Don't forget this moment. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget that no weapon formed against you could win because you didn't skip. You didn't scroll. You listened. And now, beloved, everything will change. Heaven loves you. Michael stands beside you. And your future, it just got rewritten in your favor. And before you go, a small message from our community. We run entirely on viewer support. If you'd like to help keep this mission and these messages reaching more hearts, you can support us with a coffee through the link in the description. God bless you.